The Rehabilitation Project Force, or RPF, is the Church of Scientology's program for members of its seed organization who have allegedly violated expectations or policies. This may include members who are deemed to have hidden evil intentions towards Scientology, members who are unproductive in their work or who produce poor quality work. The program includes manual labor tasks and the study of L. Ron Hubbard's works. The rehabilitation program may take more than a year to complete, and the church has been accused of overworking and mistreating its participants. Critics have characterized the RPF as a forced labor and re-indoctrination program comparable to the Soviet Gulag system. The Rehabilitation Project Force developed out of a predecessor group, the Mudbox Brigade, which was formed aboard L. Ron Hubbard's private fleet in the late 1960s. The Mudbox is a small perforated screening box fitted to the suction pipe in the bilge of a ship, and is designed to catch larger solid waste before it can choke the pipeline and potentially damage the pump. The Mudbox Brigade was assigned to clean out the mudbox as well as fuel lines, water hues, bilges, and other parts of the fleet's ships. Hubbard defined the role as being essentially a punishment duty for unsatisfactory workers. More candidates will be appointed regularly and promptly every time I find a freeloader who is loafing on posts and drifting with the wind. Hubbard later clarified that his group is the most downstat, unproductive, and one gets assigned to it by being a freeloader, invisible on post, loafing and really goofing up on one's job. Religious scholar J. Gordon Melton, however, suggested that Hubbard understood it in terms of making retribution to the people who had been harmed by the non-performance or incorrect performance of one's assigned tasks. In 1969, Hubbard replaced the Mudbox Brigade with the Rehabilitation Unit, again intended for those removed or disciplined as ineffective or trouble. Following an evaluation, the individual was to receive a set of specific recommendations which, if followed, will rehabilitate the individual as a highly effective and worthwhile Sea Org member. Hubbard instructed that he unit is to be worked hard during the day on a rigorous schedule on jobs assigned by the review chief handling corrective areas and jobs needing remedy and repair. The unit itself is thus made into an effective ship's review team. It works on a one job, one time, one place formula, completing each job before moving into the next. Each individual thus earns the right to the remedial services he or she will receive. Finally, the Rehabilitation Unit was replaced in January 1974 with the Rehabilitation Project Force, or RPF. According to Hubbard, the RPF has been created by the Commodore, Hubbard, so that redemption can occur. That is basically its only purpose. He identified 4 categories of people who were to be assigned to the RPF: rock slammers, people deemed to have hidden evil intentions, as detected by the E-meter, people who were unproductive and scored purely on the Oxford Capacity Analysis personality test, repeated state crashers, people who were held responsible for declines in Scientology organizations' productivity, and overt product makers, people who produced pure quality work. As before, the unit was to work on one job, one place, one time. A 5-hour study period was to be implemented each day to improve the individual's knowledge of Scientology. According to David G. Bromley and Douglas E. Cowan, the RPF involves a daily regimen of 5 hours of auditing or studying, 8 hours of work, often physical labor, such as building renovation, and at least 7 hours of sleep. The RPF was originally intended to last no more than a couple of months, where the assignee would learn Scientology auditing, if he or she was not already an auditor, by the read it, drill it, do it method. RPF members would then co-audit each other to better themselves and make each other more ethical and productive. As punishment, RPF members are often made to wear black boiler suits. Critics of Scientology, including former Scientologists, have compared the RPF with the Gulag system of the Soviet Union. Leaving the Sea Org, even from the RPF, results in what Scientology calls freeloader debt or a freeloader's bill, retroactive billing for any auditing received or any Scientology training received while in the Sea Org, which can run into tens of thousands of dollars. While this freeloader debt is not legally binding, many former Scientologists have reported that they felt trapped by the freeloader debt policy. In his book The Complex, an insider exposes the covert world of the Church of Scientology. Ex-Scientologist John Dignan describes RPF members living in a rat-infested basement, engaging in degrading jobs for years at a stretch, while denied visits with spouses or children. Douglas E. Cowan and David G. Bromley state that various scholars and observers have come to radically different conclusions about the RPF and whether it is voluntary or coercive, therapeutic, or punitive. One location, known as the Castile Canyon School or Happy Valley, has been identified as a former RPF facility. It was located east of San Jacinto, California, and southeast of Gold Base, near the reservation of the Soboba Band of Luiseno Indians. This site was sold by the church in 2002 to the Soboba Band, who turned it into a resort. The RPF is what you make it. The RPF is where you make it.